Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm TitansCreed from Project Phoenix Productions.
And I'm Sonic Yoda from Sega Driven.
And welcome back to 8-Bit Phonies play Ocarina of Time. As I get used to all of my bloody controls again.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we played this as well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Not that long, considering.
Not as long as Secret Rings.
Yeah, which we took over a year to come back to. So sorry about that.
That's alright.
But this will be seamless, at least.
For you, it should be seamless. Right, so... We've literally just got all of the...
We've just adulted, haven't we?
We have just literally adulted.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that means we have to do adult things.
Like getting a horse.
True, but we have to get the hookshot first.
Fair enough. So this is round about where I left it.
This is where you got sick of it, because if I remember your angry tweets...
I went to the Forest Temple, I think it is, and then I realised I needed the hookshot, and it was like, right, I'm...
Because you were more angry the game didn't tell you this.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
It's an old game. The signposting isn't as well, like, signposted, I guess.
No, it's not. It's not.
But it's that's what older games are like, isn't it? You learn it. You spend more time with it. You generally had more time with individual games than you did nowadays as well.
Yeah, and I mean, as we talked about in...
I'm sure kids nowadays still only have limited games, but as we've grown up, it's like, right, well, I can afford what I want now, so
no, absolutely,
jump into whatever. So.
But I mean, as we talked about at the end of Secret Rings, like, I grew up with the N64 and you grew up in the...
PS1,
Yeah. So, I mean, this is always going to come across with... Like, these is sort of going to be the generation of games that the other hasn't really played that much in the heyday.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
to be fair, like, the PS1 doesn't really have anything like Ocarina of Time. There's plenty of, like, third-person action stuff, but, like, not nearly as sort of, like, open or... Just, there's something about this. It's, like, it's more of a big adventure.
Did the PS1 have any games that reminded, like... This is the thing with the, like, if you look at, like, a Nintendo console, there will always be, like, you can always turn around and go, like, this was the Mario of that system, this was the Zelda of that system.
Yeah.
I mean, when it comes to the PS1,
yeah,
what do you say? Like
well, there's the Crash Bandicoot trilogy, I guess. The Spyro games are very... I suppose the Spyro games are probably the closest thing to this, in that they've got, like, a big open-worldy sort of thing. Have you gone the wrong way?
Yeah, I found a fairy fountain instead.
Fair enough.
So I'll have one of those.
Excellent stuff. Got a fairy in a bottle.
No, I will not complain about that. Thank you.
But yeah, so they're just different games for different consoles, really. Like, there's... the N64, I think, is more defined by big sort of adventure games. Even Mario 64 feels like more of an adventure game than like a platformer.
It's a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. Like, whereas the PS1, PS1's got action and stuff, but like it's more arcadey, I feel.
Yeah, but is there any game that on the... Is there any game that's on the PlayStation that always brings you back to it?
Oh, loads, man. But then again, I'm into some weird shit on PS1. So, there's a Ghost in the Shell game on PS1 that is absolutely the fucking business. It's the best Ghost in the Shell game ever made, as far as I'm concerned. Still holds up really well.
Right.
There's the original Klonoa, which obviously you can now get on Wii, but it was pretty much exclusive to PS1 up until then, and I love it. There's Tombi or Tomba.
Tombi. Oh. I remember playing the demo for Tombi.
I adore that game. What a great game.
Oh, it's such an arsehole though.
It's like a Metroidvania kind of thing going on. 2D platformer mixed with like an adventure game. Really cool. What other stuff do I really like on PS1? The Ridge Racer games. Type 4 is absolutely fucking awesome. Really cool game, and that's dated really well as well. Actually, I think it still looks quite nice. Whereas the early ones are a little bit sort of lacking, because Type 4's got like a proper career mode and loads of cars to unlock and stuff. Whereas the earlier ones are very much arcade games, you know, just sort of retrofitted to work on PS1. So they feel a little bit brief. The Doom port on PS1 is the best fucking port of Doom ever. If you've never played it, really, really good.
never really played a Doom game, to be honest with you.
Really? Oh, okay. So the deal with the Doom port on PS1 is, I just feel like they get the tone better, because the original game on PC is obviously a classic, but like,
Careful.
sound-wise, it's got like a very sort of like MIDI style soundtrack to it, and it just makes it sound a bit silly.
Right.
The PS1 one has a re-recorded soundtrack that's proper moody and atmospheric, and just makes it feel more like a horror game, which I think is awesome. It's also got like coloured lighting and stuff, so everything feels kind of like creepy and moodier. Just cool. There's a cool vibe to it. Some exclusive stages on it as well. Mortal Kombat Trilogy is one of my favourites. If you've never played that, it's basically like the first 3 Mortal Kombats mashed up into one massive game.
Okay.
So that's really cool. There it is.
The hook shot. It didn't take me that long to do.
No.
I'd never normally ace that the first time after I've had a break from this game.
Yeah, we weren't talking about it when you were doing it, so you have to chase a dude, basically.
Yeah, while he's throwing fire at you.
Right, okay.
He can be a bit of an arsehole, but
you aced that pretty well.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, like, missing the N64, what was like? I mean, I know kind of the big game Mario 64. It was Ocarina of Time, obviously.
Yeah.
There's a few I've always been interested. Blast Core, I've always heard good things about.
Blast Core is amazing.
Yeah.
Like, it is one of the games that always brought me back to playing the N64 for a while.
Yeah.
And it was one of those always, I'll go down the shop and rent that game.
Yeah. Is that's made by Treasure, isn't it, Blast Core?
I believe so. Which is probably why I like it.
Yeah. And I love Treasure stuff, so that's one I've always felt like I've missed. There's the original Sin and Punishments on there as well, which I've never played.
No, played
I've
that
got the sequel though on Wii, which
like,
is great.
The thing about the N64 is there were always so many games that came out on it.
Yeah.
But there were only so many games I ever played on it.
Right,
like,
okay.
I would always go back and I'd always play...
Oh no, Blast Core's a rare game. Okay.
Oh yeah? No, actually that makes sense.
I'm trying... Yeah, so I know Sin and Punishment's Treasure. I wonder if Treasure did any more on N64 stuff. Let me have a quick look.
Isn't that around the time that they changed over to TT? Because then they started doing the Lego games on the PS2 around that time.
Traveller's Tales?
Yeah.
I don't know if Traveller's Tales did anything on N64 though. I'll have a look. So I'm just looking at Treasure at the moment. Where's games developed? So, because I know they did Sin and Punishment, but I can't remember if they did any more N64 stuff. Yeah, Bangai-O's on N64 as well.
Bangai-O?
Yeah, it's a wicked game. It's on Dreamcast as well. There's a really fucking good sequel on DS as well called Bangai Spirits. Okay. It's basically like a 2D shoot 'em up, but it's more open. You're not just like limited to going in one direction. You can basically fly around the whole map. But like as enemies fire at you, the closer their projectile gets to you, if you let it like get really really close and then fire your missiles, it will depend on how many missiles you fire.
Right.
So like, it's a risk reward system where it's like if you can let the enemy's projectiles get as close as possible to you, you can launch like 1,000 missiles if it gets like really close. It's proper mental, really good game. But yeah, those are the only two that they did for N64. Let's have a look at Traveller's Tales then.
I'm quite sure Traveller's Tales must have done something. I don't think they would have been PlayStation exclusive, mate. I mean, they
were Saturn, really, weren't they? Because they did Sonic R and Sonic 3D and things.
A lot of devs are going to be specific to one machine at that kind of point, I guess.
Yeah.
Mostly for the fact that it is easier to do one or other.
Yeah. Right. So there's Sonic 3D and Sonic R. There's a game called Rascal. What's that on? PS1. Bugs Life. PS1. So I don't think they did any N64 stuff. Toy Story 2.
Maybe not.
Toy Story 2's an N64 game by looks things. That Traveller's Tales did. And there's Muppet Race Mania.
Who did the South Park game on 64? Because that was quality fun.
See, I was going to say this, right? So that's like the only familiarity I have with the N64, because I remember friends having that, and like, it just being like the best South Park game. And the PS1 version is like a different game entirely. So yeah, South Park, first person shooter game based on it. Developed by Iguana for the N64. PlayStation port was handled by Appaloosa Interactive. Yeah, so it's a different dev. So even if it might be a similar thing, yeah, it just wasn't as good on PS1.
Yeah, maybe. There we go. Sorted it.
So I'm trying to remember what the deal is with this. So you do this
right,
one bit with it.
So basically, what it is
jump on the fences first. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember how to. Oh, that's the button I'm after. There we go. Practicing. So the whole point about this is that you do opponent song in the past, which we did like way way ago, and then you come here in the future, and he decides to he says like, do you want to ride one of my horses?
Yeah. And
you go, yeah. But you use opponent song to get opponent to come find you.
Right. Oh, okay. Because she remembers from when in the past. Right?
Yeah.
I get you. I get you.
I want to ride. No. But I'm just trying to remember, because then there is a point that you need to actually start racing him.
Right. Okay. Yeah. No, because you do this bit first, don't you? And then it's like, right, I challenge you to a race.
Yeah.
But then you got to do the race again or something.
You got to race him twice.
Yeah.
Because look at him.
Yeah.
His ugly face.
Yeah, this is another one where I was just like, how do
I do this? Scram, you little punk. Do you want to hear how to ride? Don't listen. I'm fine. Because then I can just... I might have to go do the Forest Temple verse to be able to get her. I'm not entirely sure. Because you don't need a Epona at this point, but...
I feel like it wouldn't let you do all of this otherwise.
I don't know. Right.
So is it just a case of jumping the fences as many times as possible in one minute?
Maybe. Got how annoying it was to try.
Do you want me to look out?
I mean, you can do.
Let's have a quick look. God, where would we be without fucking internet?
Without Game FAQs, where would we be?
Game facts.
How to get Epona. Although an Epona seems to just be what you get if you watch porno.
Ocarina. Oh, Tim. Oh, what's it doing? Fuck it. How to unlock Epona.
You get the feeling you may have already searched for that before.
Yeah. I can't remember how I get. Oh yeah, because I hadn't even got Epona's song from when I was a kid. So that was why I was like, why haven't I just instantly unlocked it?
I'm not going to bother about this. I'll come back to it later. It's fine. I don't really need it right now anyway.
What? The hell is this?
Like, you only really need her for you only really need her for one part in the actual game.
Okay.
Which is to get into the Gerudo Desert anyway, so all I'm really doing is just like trying to get it sorted now.
Well, I'll get it queued up for when. So
Sure.
talk to her 3 times and then pull out your ocarina.
Talk to him 3 times.
It says talk to her.
Oh no, you're in the past.
Oh right, that's the first bit.
Yeah.
Okay. Step 1 as a child. As adult Link, collect 70 rupees and then go to talk to Ingo at Online Ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Pay him 10 to ride the horse. Instead of using the provided horses called with the opponent's song.
Mm-hmm.
Get some practice with the Epona until your time's expired. You can collect 2 hidden blue rupees while jumping over the fences. Pay 10 more rupees to return to the coral and ride Epona.
Mm-hmm.
But talk to Ingo while you are riding her.
So it's fine. The only thing I didn't do was talk to Ingo again on the second time. So that's fine. I just need to do that. But we'll do Forest. We've got to get back down to the Forest Temple anyway.
That's fine.
It's always something to do. We've got the hook shot. That's all we really need to do.
Yeah. Well, you can get to the temple at least.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've got to go through traverse all the lost woods again now, though.
Great fun. Well, we figured it out. Like, we know what way you're going. So.
Yeah, there's no song this time, though.
Oh right, so you're looking for the shadow.
Yeah, I'm looking for the shadows
Yeah.
on the. I used to remember this off by heart, though. It's the annoying thing. So there's that portal. We want to go this way.
Yeah, that's the dark one.
Then there's the Wontosaurus domain. What are you? What are you?
Fucking wreck your mate.
So-
I'm twice as big as you. Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
No, that's a pony song.
Oh right,
I can't remember these things.
bloody E-pony. Sorry.
Down, right, up. There we go.
Down, right, left.
What did I say?
Up.
Up. Down, right,
Down,
up.
Okay.
What? You can't know that song.
I know that song. I've played some of this game, not all of it. Do-do-do-do.
Indeed.
I was looking at your Warcraft book earlier.
Which
was
one?
I was trying to figure out if it was the one that they were reading on 8-Bit Book Club this week. Because I'm well into this podcast called 8-Bit Book Club, where they basically just read video game books.
Fair enough.
And take the piss. But they actually really enjoy the World of Warcraft books. So the first one they read was Arthur's Rise of the Lich King.
Which is a good book.
And the one they're reading at the moment is The Shattering Prelude to Cataclysm.
Which is a shit book.
Okay, fair enough. But they seem to be enjoying it. So maybe they just enjoy it.
This is the wrong way, isn't it?
Yeah, you're coming out.
Bastard. Okay. That's fine. It's okay. Because it really does lead up into a lot of things. It was the first actual Warcraft novel I ever bought.
Right, okay.
It's a good story. It's all right. The problem is it's trying to be a bit too political.
But that's like one of the things they quite liked about it was just the fact that like he's talking about things like climate change and the fact that the orcs are basically like, you know, refugees essentially. I think like it sounds smart.
I'm gonna presume you mean Tauren.
Oh, sorry, yeah. But yeah, it just seems interesting, you know. It's nice to hear like what makes that franchise good because I'm a little bit sort of an outsider regarding it, and
no, absolutely.
Like I watched the film and I was like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to care about here.
Here's the thing: when it comes to the film,
Yeah.
it essentially sits in its own kind of universe.
Right.
There are a lot of things that you'll see in it,
Yeah.
but as the actual World of Warcraft game is dipped into two universes as it is right now,
Oh, okay.
you have to be very careful. Essentially, it sits in the alternate universe they went to, so it's almost like Blizzard were trying to rewrite the way that the actual game started.
Oh, okay.
So the film's not. The film's not bad.
I wanted to love it. Like, it's totally the sort of shit that I like. I love me some fantasy. I just didn't know who I was supposed to like care about.
You're meant to care about the humans and the orcs.
It just seemed weird that like all of a sudden the half human, half orc girl was in a relationship with the human character, and it's like no explanation. It just seemed to happen like all of a sudden. He's fast. Go. Oh fuck it.
No, that's fine.
But yeah, it might be one I come back to at some point because
what I should do,
I reckon a repeat viewing might help me a little bit.
See, I have the actual prequel book
Oh right.
to the film.
Oh, is it like a direct tie?
Yeah.
Cool.
So there's a book. So I mean that's worth reading a little bit because it does it's only for the orc side though.
Oh, I see. Right.
But it does shed a fair bit of light and tries to let you know who you should care about.
Right. Okay. Do you have to hit him in the back?
No, I just have to hit him.
Alright.
Go away, Scott. I honestly do not care for you.
You're almost there now.
Yeah, I'm almost there, but I've got to deal with this douche.
Oh. Straight in there. Look at him. A master. A pro.
Lucky.